Hi everyone, happy Flossmas Day 13. How are you doing today? I'm doing pretty well. It's Sunday. It is an overcast but very, very warm day here in New Jersey. And I've been very productive today. So I'm very happy that I've been having a wonderfully productive weekend. I hope you're doing the same. Or you're having a very lazy, unproductive weekend, and that's exactly what you wanted to have done. So, hope you're all doing well. It is Wednesday. It is Sunday here. I'm getting ready to go to dinner, and then I'm going to get relaxed and ready for the week ahead with work. So I have some lunches to pack a little later on, but I've been crafting the majority of the day. I got up this morning, I did some stitching, I went to church, and then I came home, did my workout for the day for about an hour, and then sat down and did some more stitching. So with that, I have a whole lot to show you today. I have some questions to answer from the last couple days of videos. So let's go ahead and get right on into it. So first off, one question that I had was, what did you ever, Gerald, I'm Gerald, Ginger Gerald Stitcher. The question was, Gerald, did you ever finish that cardigan that you were working on? No, I have not finished it. It is almost finished, like this close to being finished, but I haven't finished it yet. I still have the patches to sew on the shoulder as well as the elbow. So other than that, it is completely done. It's already been blocked out. All I have left to do is stitch on those patches, and I've yet to do it. And there's a few reasons why. So here is that cardigan that I stitched, or that I knit last spring. I think it was in the spring or maybe even the winter that I knit. I am fairly happy with this. I'm not 100% happy with it, but like I said, I still have the patches to sew on the elbows as well as the sleeves. There's a couple things I'm not super fit through. One, I didn't do a very good job seaming on the sleeves and together, so they're a little wonky. Two, it doesn't fit me right now, so I don't have any motivation to finish it because I can't wear it. Thank you, COVID. So, but here is the sweater that I have done. This is knit with 2 strands of Holst yarn, super soft in the color Marlin. I believe it's called Marlin. It is like a gray blue. It practically matches what I have on today. So here we go. I picked up the buttons when I was in New York City last fall. So I guess I worked on this. I think I pretty much got this done in the spring, but I've been working on this since last year. I picked up the buttons in New York City at in the garment district or the fashion district, whatever you want to call it, and very pleased with those. But I just haven't finished it yet. So there is my sweater that is kind of in limbo. Maybe I'll lose enough weight that I can fit into it before the end of winter. All right, so moment I gotta sneeze. All right, so while I was up sneezing and blowing my nose, I remembered I got some, as many of you would call it, happy mail in the mail yesterday, and so I wanted to showcase that. So I got a Christmas card for my mom, and unfortunately I'm not able to see my family this year because of the travel restrictions and having to work and the restrictions for work as far as travel and everything. So I'm going to stay here in New Jersey. They're going to stay where they live. But she did send me a card the other day, and in it was an ornament with a P. And as many of you know, I have a P cup, which is a coffee cup my brother got me a couple years ago because my last initial is P, and I really, really like this. I love the wood grain on it. It's just an ornament from Walmart, I think is where she got it. And so I'm really looking forward to putting this on my tree. It's also going to match my tree really well because my tree is in browns, bronzes. Everything has to match pretty much, except for the birds that I also have on the tree. So here we go. I'm really excited to put this on. Now that I've talked about it, I can go ahead and put it on the tree later tonight. So thank you, Mom. Next up, I do have another question about 40 count linen and how I stitch on it. I will get there. Please remind me if I don't remember whenever I get to the project that has 40 count linen. Which are the next two? No, actually, let me go ahead and show you my knitting. This is my the scarf that I'm knitting. I'm so close to getting this done. But I am going over to my friends for dinner tonight. That is all the yarn I have left to knit. So I'm really excited. I think I will have a finish tonight. And then I can knit something different, which I am excited about. I'm ready for this one to be over. So this is my scarf that I'm working on. It is a fisherman's rib scarf using 100% acrylic, Vanna white yarn. I don't remember the name. Is something autumn, I think. Autumn colors, autumn harvest, autumn leaves. I don't know. So this is, I've used 3 skeins of yarn so far on this fisherman's rib scarf. And here is how much I've knit since yesterday. So I got up and I'm really focusing on trying to get this done. So I think I can knock this out tonight while watching TV. I'm going to knock it out while watching TV because there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So I will have this done and I will be able to block it because I think it needs to be blocked. There's a couple spots I'm not super happy with as far as like where the skeins joined and everything. You can kind of see one right there that I might have to go back and touch up whenever I block this one. I'm not sure. Does blocking acrylic really help? Does it help to block acrylic? I don't really know, because I know you can wash it in the washing machine and dry it just like regular fabrics. So I don't know, but that's what I will be working on tonight. Go ahead, and it's getting a little bit large for the bag I have it in, so I'm trying to make it do because I don't have any other knitting bags to use right now. Okay, so that is now ready for travel over to my friend's house for watching TV tonight. I have my coffee, 4 p.m. coffee, my hedgehog cup that my mom got me last year, kind of in honor because I stitched that realist hedgehog pattern. All right, let's go ahead and get into the stitching, and I have lots to talk about with the stitching today. First off, I have my Plum Street samplers, the Queen Sampler, Elizabeth I. This is a pattern that I started, when did I start this? Thursday? No, I started this on Tuesday. I know I started this on Tuesday. So almost a week's worth of stitching on this one. When I got up today, I put a strand of black in, and then I went ahead this afternoon and I wanted to get all of the black on the dress done. So here it is, Plum Street Samplers, the Queen Sampler, Queen Elizabeth. So we can see I did all this on Tuesday. I started the dress on Wednesday, and I'm really, really pleased with it so far. So what I did was I filled in all of the black, and then whenever I got up here to about this point in the black, I had to put in the gold or the yellow, whatever you want to call it. So I went ahead and filled in the roses so that they are completely done. So everything from here down is done. And then I went ahead and finished the black up through the entire person. So all the black, I color completed the black in this section. There's still more black in the border, but she is starting to come together. So now I just have to finish filling in around the cross, and then put her head and her crown on, and then she will be done, and I will be able to start working on the border. So this is on a 40 count linen called Old Linen from xJuDesigns. I linked her in the video, yesterday's video. So if you're interested in her fabrics, you can go back and check it out. I absolutely love her fabrics. I basically use her fabrics for everything except for the next two projects. So this is a 40 count linen called Old Linen. I really love how this is turning out and how the colors are popping on this fabric. I think it looks great. I had a question, thank you for reminding me, that how do I stitch on linen or 40 count? A lot of people are not used to stitching on the higher count fabrics, or they've struggled with their eyes. I love the higher count fabrics. My favorite is actually 46. I'll show a piece tomorrow that's on 46 count linen, or is it even weave? It's linen, I think. And I've even stitched on 56 count. So I love the higher counts. 46 is probably my favorite. 40 and 46. I do like 56 as well, but you have to have really good eyes for that, which I still do. I don't use any kind of magnification. I don't need to right now, so I'm gonna take advantage of that while I can. I do have an light that I have. It's a floor lamp light that sits behind my couch, behind my stitching spot, and then it comes up over and just shines over top of my shoulder. So then I still use it even when I'm knitting, but I just turn the intensity down. I do have it all the way up on the highest intensity when I'm stitching. Not that I necessarily need that, I'm just used to using that now. So this, whenever I stitch on, and then I also had a question about dark fabrics. How do I stitch on dark fabrics? What kind of light? So I use my light that's over top of my shoulder. I don't do anything special for like underneath the fabric or not. I really use muscle memory, and just because I do stitch two-handed, so I have this hand on top, this hand, my right hand below, and I really just use my eyes and muscle memory to find the holes. I personally don't have a problem with that. I know many people do, and they'll often either put a towel underneath or on their lap underneath the stitchings, a light colored towel, like a white towel or something, so that it's easier to find the holes, especially on black fabrics, black Adas, things like that. I personally don't have that issue, so I don't do that. However, I've heard that helps. They'll also put like a light, like a backlight, an iPad or something underneath that to give some light that comes up through the holes. You could do that as well. But this is my 40 count linen that I'm really liking how this is turning out. So I hope that answered the questions as far as working on higher count fabrics, as well as what type of lamp I use. And then I just use these glasses. So like I said, I'm going to take advantage of that as much as I possibly can, because I know at some point down the road here in the near future, probably, I'm going to have to start having some kind of magnification. So there we go. The Queen's Sampler. Project number 1 that I worked on since yesterday. Okay, number 2 that I worked on yesterday was my Nature's Reflections bookmark that I'm doing. So I am doing the bookmark right here. I decided I'm not going to do the sun. I was just going to do one of these sets of trees for a bookmark that I'm going to create. I am using color and cotton threads. I did my own color conversion, and here are the threads that I am using. They are color and cotton. I know this is bronze. I know this is chai. Chai is the lighter one. Bronze is the middle one, and the dark one is pine needles. So this one's pine needles. So those are the 3. This is the tree up front, the tree in the middle scape of the piece, and then these are the background in the distance type trees. And I have a finish. So last night after I stopped talking to you guys, I went to my friend's house for dinner, as I often do on the weekends. And then I came home and I knocked out my design. I don't have it fully finished yet, but here is the finished stitching. So there is the bookmark. This is on a 40 count coffee dipped. I did it myself. White. It's a white Verdal that I coffee dipped. And there you go. You can see the trees. The white ones, you really need to be up close to see the definition of them. But I am really pleased with how that one is how that one turned out so far. So now I got to figure out how I'm going to finish it into a bookmark. I've never made a bookmark before. I have some ideas. My mom and I were talking about it today, what types of things I could do. I might make a tassel out of with the 3 colors of the floss that I have in this. So I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do. I will probably work on that over the weekend when I have a bit more time. So, because I have to have it ready for a gift for next week. So there is my Nature's Reflections trees. And I'm really, really happy with how that turned out. I love the different differences in colors. You can see there is the original there's the original and there is the finish. So it's different looking, but it still reflects the pattern, and I'm really pleased with how that turned out. And I got to use some of my hand-dyed floss that I never ever really touched because I stitch predominantly with DMC. So there is that one. So I think it's the perfect size for a bookmark, so I'm really, really pleased with how that looks. Then, because for some reason, I am on a crazy, let's start a whole bunch of things, I started something new. But first, let me go back to, I asked a question yesterday in the video, at the end of yesterday's video, on what do you guys and gals consider a small project? We all know I predominantly stitch larger pieces. I like to go big or go home, as they like to say, and I even had a comment that said that. But I've been wondering what people consider as smalls, because I know that's a subjective measure. However, I'm leaning towards, been working on a bunch of smalls this year, so, or at least the last couple months. So, you know, this is a small. I even consider, and I know this is questionable, but I even consider this as a small because they're small for me. Now, I went through the comments as of whenever I'm filming right now, and it seems like the majority of people either look at 100 by 100 or smaller as a small, that's stitch count, or they'll look at the size of your palm, or 3 by 5, 5 by 5. They'll go by a specific inch measurement, so like a 3 by 5, which would be an ornament size, or a 5 by 5, or I had some 8 by 8s. So it just depends upon, I guess, how you look at a small. I personally find smalls to be, I even had somebody say, small is something that what I can stitch in the Q-snap without moving the Q-snap, which I thought was funny and great at the same time, because I was like, and I responded back, I was like, well, how big's your Q-snap? Because I have some pretty big Q-snaps that I don't have to move for my very large pieces. But, you know, if you have one that you can hold in your hand and stitch and not have to move the Q-snap in order to complete the design, that's what they consider as a small. So I kind of lean towards the same way, I think, in the fact that, you know, to me, a small is something that I don't really need to move the Q-snap for, or something I can get done in a fairly quick amount of time, because we all know the pieces I work on tend to take a year or so on average. I think my average is even worse than that, only because I get burned out of them and I have to take some breaks from them. I have been thinking about pulling London out during the month of December, But then I was like, well, I'm not going to really see much progress while I'm filming videos. So I might wait until the end of Flossmas to start working on that in the new year. I also have some plans that I definitely want to get started in the new year, and we all know I don't do plans, but I will talk about that in a later video this year. However, after I finished the dress on the Queen Elizabeth today, I was like, I think I'm ready for a new start. Now, I'm going to throw in this caveat. I think this is going to be my last new start for a while. I say that, but we never know. I also really want to start that second buzzard so I get those buzzards done fairly quickly and I can get them hung up in my office. So that might be another start this year, or this month. However, I was going through my cabinet, and actually I went through everything on my pile that I have that I really want to start soon, and they're all fairly large pieces. So I was like, nope, I want to start a small. So I went through to my cabinet, I went through and I found some books that I've had for a while now. I picked these up at a cross-stitching retreat, I think the Midwest retreat, maybe the first year I was there, so 2017, I think. And these are the original Railroading, book 1 and 2. And so you can see there's book 2. It has a whole bunch of different designs, traditional American symbol, logos and brands, as well as just like a train and a crossing light lamp. And then this one is also very similar, where it has some brands as well as a train in the middle. So I decided to pull from number 2, and I am stitching, where's my finger? All right, there. I am stitching the crossing signal. So it's kind of hard to see, but I think it's going to look really good when it's done. I'm stitching this on the finished size of this, just because we've been talking about smalls and the sizes, will be 1 3/4 wide by 7 inches high. So it's 24 stitches wide by 98 high. So I am doing this on a 14 count. I forget what the name of the color Aida is, but it's a gray Aida that I bought at Hobby Lobby. It's the same Aida that I use for my old-fashioned lamps, that old-fashioned holiday ornament lamps that I just released this year. That you can find it at Hobby Lobby if you have a Hobby Lobby near you, or any other kind of gray Aida. This is the remnants of that piece of Aida that I have. So here is so far my start. Not much to start on, but at least it started. So I did the first 2 colors at the base of the signal, and then I'll work my way up. This is going to be a fairly quick stitch for me, and I mean a quick stitch. It's not very complex or complicated. I did this in a matter of 15 minutes. So I think it's going to look great. It's going to look great on the gray Aida. And I think it will turn out great as far as a finish. I'll probably do a flat finish, and then have, what I like to do is buy the plate stands and then set it on the plate stand. So there we go. Start number 3 for the week. I hope you're all doing well. Oh, I meant to tell you, please don't forget to go check out my Etsy store, Gerald Designs. You can find the link below. It has all the patterns that are for sale from my shop that I've released over the past few years. $1 from every pattern sold during the month of December is going to be donated to the Philadelphia Zoo. I really hope you consider looking at those patterns. I know I've been getting many people favoriting and everything. So I'm very, very happy with all of you who have made that purchase to help the Philadelphia Zoo. I know I'm up over 50 patterns sold so far, so that would be $50 going to the zoo. I don't have an exact count. I need to do that so I can update you all. But we are looking pretty good to hit my goal by the end of December. My goal is $100 to be able to donate to the Philadelphia Zoo. So we are getting close. So thank you all very much. And if you haven't checked out my Etsy store yet, please go over and check it out. I design architectural elements or traditional historical patterns. So I know it's a niche area of cross stitch, but it's something different than what else is out there. So I hope you go over and consider looking at them. I also have some awesome designs coming up in the future, not anytime soon, I don't think, but after the first of the year, that I'm really looking forward to getting out there and release for you all. So with that, I hope you all have a wonderful day, a wonderful rest of your weekend. If you're still watching this before the end of Sunday, I hope you have a great week ahead with the last week before Christmas, the last full week before Christmas. I have a busy work week ahead of me, but I'm looking forward to it, as well as getting to those crafting things that we all like to do. So until I see you tomorrow, and I am hoping to do a little bit of vlogging tomorrow because I want to show you my plants down here. We have to do lemon watch because I haven't done that since day one. It's coming along nicely, so I want to show you that, as well as my amaryllis that are growing. And so we'll check that out tomorrow. And until I see you tomorrow, happy stitching, and as always, don't forget to always be creative.